To get started with Kahoot, the first thing you're going to need to do is to create a Kahoot account. And if you've never used Kahoot before, it's similar to Socrative or Infused Learning. It's a game-based classroom response system that allows your students to interact with questions that you post up on your screen, and using a digital device such as an iPad or a tablet, they can respond to the questions in a fun manner because they will earn points depending on whether they get the questions right, how fast they answer the questions, so there's a little bit of a competitive edge to it as well. So to get started, you're going to go to the website getkahoot.com, GETKAHOOT.com, and you're going to click on Get My Free Account. And you're just going to do this one-time registration. So you will pick your role, and then you will fill out the account details as listed below: the school name, username, email, confirm email, password, create account. Once you have put all of that information in, you're going to come to your Kahoot homepage, which is going to look similar to this. Your username will show up over here, and it gives you a few different options. So you could play their intro quiz to get an idea of how Kahoot works, or you could look for public Kahoots. And what that means is you can look for other assessments, quizzes, surveys, discussions created by other users of Kahoot, and you can edit them and modify them and use them for yourself, or you can create your own. Just to give you an idea of something that you can explore, if you click on Public Kahoots, you're going to see a list of different Kahoots that other people have made. And right now, up here, we are filtering. We don't have any filters on here. So if we want to click down here and we just wanted to see quizzes that other people made, we can click Search, and it would filter out anything that was not a quiz. But then we can also be very specific. If we have a particular topic that we're studying, we can type that in. And now we can filter out, so we're going to get Kahoots that are about ancient Greece, and these are going to all be quizzes. And you can also change the school setting as well. So you'll have to look through some of these Kahoots if you want to use them to see if they make sense for your particular grade, the particular topic that you are using. But for this video, we're really going to demonstrate how to create your own Kahoot. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to click on My Kahoots. These are ones that I have created already. And I want to create a new Kahoot. So let's just go back over, and I'm going to click Quiz. And you would give your quiz a name. So this is just going to be my sample. And we'll click Go. So question by question, you're going to enter in the information that you need to create your questions for the assessments that you're going to run. So question 1 could be, and then once you've typed in your question, you can add an image if you would like. If you want to add an image to the question, you need to go online, find the question, and save it to your computer, and then you can upload it by clicking Browse and navigating to where that image is stored. If you do not have an image, you're going to put in your answer choices down here below. So you can have as few choices as you want, and then what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to pick the correct answer. So underneath the correct choice, you're going to change it from incorrect to correct. If you wanted to have less than 4 choices, you could hit this little button over here, and that would eliminate one of your choices. So once you have the question set up the way you want, you can put a time limit on the question also. The default is 30 seconds. You can reduce that. This is the amount of time the students have to answer it before that question ends, so that's up to you. The experimental option in here is to include a video with your question, and when you click on video, you're going to need to put in the video URL. It's for YouTube integration. We're not going to go through that right now. So if you don't have an image, then you put in your choices. You've chosen the correct one. We come down here to the bottom. If we want to add another question, we can click Add Question. And now you can see we have the ability to put in a second question. And you can do this as many times as you need to complete your quiz. And the screen will never change. With each question, you're just going to click Add a Question. If you need to go back to the previous question to make sure that it's correct, or you want to make changes to it, you come over here on the lower left, and I click on 1, I can go back to, it's not letting me go back to 1 because I haven't put anything for question 2 yet. So we're going to just click Save and Continue for now. And we're going to actually get rid of this question. So I'm going to click Save and Continue. These are some other settings that they want you to look at before you actually use this Kahoot with your students. English, do you want the privacy settings? If you leave it public, it's going to be put into the Kahoot library, which means other teachers who use this could actually use your quiz if they wanted to. Primary audience, leave it on school. If you are leaving this as public so that other people can use it, you might want to put in a little description. You can choose the difficulty level. And if you want to put in specific tags about your particular topic, you can put that in there as well. And then we're going to hit Save and Continue. So once we're ready to go, I'm going to click Done. Now, it's a good idea to preview what your Kahoot looks like, and the preview is actually pretty cool because what it does is it lets you see the teacher end of it as well as the student end of it. This is what would show up on your whiteboard, your interactive whiteboard that the students are going to be looking at to view your questions. The student tablet, and here they're showing like a little smartphone, but the student tablet or the iPad, this is what their screen is going to look like. Now you have the ability to change a few of the options before you launch your quiz. Display game pin throughout. The way the students are going to register for your Kahoot is by giving them a game pin, which they're going to enter on their screen. So you might want to turn this on because if you have students that walk in late or are pulled out, pulled in for a variety of reasons, you can leave that pin up there so that they can join in your Kahoot in the middle of it. So you can change that if you want to. Do you want instructions? Do you want to randomize the order of the questions, randomize order of answers in each question? It plays some lobby music while the questions are going on, so you can play around with that if you want, but none of this is really necessary. We click Launch. So again, this is what's showing up on the whiteboard for my students. Here's that wonderful lobby music. So this is the pin that the students are going to have to enter in order to enter your class. So they put it in. They click Enter. They're going to put their name in. And you will see on the whiteboard as people enter your class, all the names will show up over here. Again, this is my whiteboard area. So we're in. So the students are not going to be able to do anything until you click Start. So you can see here's my test Kahoot. Here's the first question. What is the capital of New York? It's getting ready. It's telling me ready to go. See, this is the area that your picture would have shown in. If you don't put a picture in, this shows up. So this is what's seen on the student end. They get the choices, just the colors. They don't get actual words. They click it. Okay, and I got 800 points for that question. 1,000 is the most points I could get if I answered it immediately, because you are timed on the question and you get less points as more time passes. So as the teacher, I now get to see how my students did as a class. And this is a good time if a lot of the students don't do well on it. This might be a teachable moment where you need to go over a specific topic because a lot of the students in the class didn't get it right. Or we can just go over to the next question because you will be able to view the results at the end. And this was the end because we only had one question for this, but this was just to give you an idea. So if I go to my feedback and results, the students are asked to rate the particular quiz. Did they learn something? Would they recommend it? So you will also see this on your end as well. When we go to final results, this teacher can download final results and it will come into a spreadsheet format. So you could either save it right then and there, or you could open it up if your class is over. And all the correct answers for each student will show up in green, and any incorrect answers will show up in red. So it's giving them a score based on the number of points they've earned for that particular question. Over here, how many correct answers they got, how many incorrect answers they got. So you'll see all of this information, and you'll be able to kind of do an item analysis of your questions. So we'll close out of this. So once we're done with this, this is the preview that I'm on with. I'm going to actually close this window, and I can go back. So now any quiz that you create in Kahoot will be under My Kahoots. Okay, I have a number of them over here. And when you're ready to actually use it with a student, you're just going to log in to getkahoot.com. You will click on My Kahoots, and you will pick the quiz, the survey, whichever one you want to play, and you will click play. And I'm not in preview mode now, so which is why I'm not seeing the student end of this. But if I wanted my students to play, I click launch. And what it's going to do is it's going to generate a pin, and my students are going to put that in, and we're going to be ready to go with this snazzy music. So this is just a quick run through of getting registered, looking through the public Kahoots, and maybe putting together a very simple Kahoot for your students. And again, you can use this on pretty much any device, iPad, tablet, computer, doesn't really matter as long as they have an internet connection and a web browser. So have fun.